Good morning, everyone. Hope I have a throat that I can talk today. I hope everyone's doing good on this Memorial Day. I don't mean to bother your day, but maybe come on with a few interesting thoughts that came to me this morning as I was getting ready to come on. As always, I ask God to show me. So let's get our energy for the group set, and then we'll begin talking about what's coming. So we want to call into the I Am Presence to surround us in her clear, pure light, allowing the violet flame to come out around and through us. And lastly, reach out to Lord Gautama Buddha and his protective blue flame, coming up for about 5 inches out around our boundary of all of us throughout the world, throughout the universe, that are coming to be here, sit here with us today. And I want to appreciate all of you and let you know how grateful I am for you to come and to want to hear God's voice, Mother's voice, all the other experiences of beings through me. And for I am just TheoSophia. So, the thought that I saw when I first asked about today, yes, and I'm being reminded, we need to say our mantra. I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. We'll ask for all the beautiful angels, archangels to come be with us, the masters, and all beings from the universe who are walking upon the path of light, whether they're here to learn or to help instruct us. They're all welcome. All right, anything else? We're going to have this be a healing experience because today is the Eye of Horus Day. And certainly it's about the perception, the sight that we have about things. So when I asked Father, what would you like me to help everyone with today? And I saw a field and someone hoeing and planting in the field seeds with the use of soil. And I thought, wow, such a profound lesson. And then they took me to a place to understand, what if our consciousness was just a beautiful circle of water out from us, clear. And what will be given energy, the soil, and action will be dependent upon us. For instance, what are you contemplating? You may want to write a couple things down as we're talking. What are you wanting to create down and around and through you? You know, thoughts are things. We've talked about that. They're something once you create a recipe to create them. Because if you haven't had the thought process to give them thought, we had Jesus last week, I believe, tell us about how to work with thought. And I think this is talk number 2. And so if we see this huge ball, we'll make it a ball of water in front of us. And let's say you're needing more abundance. The farmer itself speaks to abundance, for he plants and tends to the soil to have fruit or oats or corn or whatever. So he'll have a way to shift with the country, the world, so he gets something back to feed his family. But what I was hearing is we don't really tend to our fields of consciousness, our huge balls of white light, and what we want them to do for us. For when you see a big ball of like water of consciousness? Is that all you do? Is that just that you observe it? Well, let's take the thought of desiring a greater abundance. So this is perhaps, good morning, Dr. Tim, good morning, Marby. I'm a little behind doing everything. Annie, Carol Swisher. What if you have a way? Remember, Jesus said it was a trickle. It was a trickle of energy. But how do you describe what a trickle is? If it's abundance, what would you want to see? Do you want to see more of that which you desire? Do you want to see more of money? Is that what the trickle would be that you would put into your ball of consciousness? If, let's say, you were after love, would you see a lot of hearts? Or are you capable of going inside your own heart and expanding love and giving that to this realm of consciousness to go out and bring it back? It's quite a science, in becoming someone in the experience of God and Mother and Jesus and all the different beings. It isn't that they took a minute and read a book and they became. It's not what happened for me. I've been doing this for 40 years, mostly studying, not always being here in this seat. But what I have learned is you must be specific. There was an old teaching years ago where just put it out and you'll get it back. But what happened is we became more finite in about what we desired. What was abundance to someone in the 60s would not be anything near what abundance would be today in our world and all the things we're doing. So for a moment, see if you have a thought of abundance. First, see the image that shows it to yourself or the feeling, whichever it is for you. And if you don't have either, then you need to do some work and get some of these patterns out from you so you have a way of communication with yourself. So first thing I see for myself, because I was raised on a farm, is a whole big, all the soybeans would come into a big truck and I could see it full. That was abundance to my family. Or to have the corn picked and big things of abundance. Now, I understand I'm probably older than all of you. Maybe for you it's something else. But you want to be able to not only see it, you want to feel it, almost as if you can touch it to the level that it's real. I can smell the soybeans and that dust that would come off the big thing. And I'd see my mom and dad look at each other and smile. So I have a lot I can put on that thought of abundance. I can also go to living in another time with children and abundance and having all the new things you need. I was a mother of 2 on my own. And I remember my son calling me up one day at work. Mom, today there's absolutely nothing in the cupboard. I said, well, I'll be home soon. So that's a horrific thought for a lot of people. Maybe you've been through it. I don't know. We're all different, but we all have similarities. One thing I'm sure of today is that everyone here with us has had an abundant issue. So, if it's not back from where you were raised, what brings that thought of abundance to you? And if it's about love, you want to look at the heart energy. And the heart energy and how it looks in this huge crystal liquid ball. Is it all tight and jabbing? Or have you able to dissolve whatever is the war? Like a lot of people like to say, there's a war in our world. Well, we want to cancel that thought. And yes, it does work. Violet flame it. The world is growing. Not always comfortable. Not always right here because of what we're talking about. The world hasn't been able yet to see and remember what just having a nice life is about. having nice neighbors, living in a wonderful town. There's places perhaps that you might find it. But we need to make it a bigger, a more broad thought from all of us. We live in a world of love because we believe in God. Good morning, Lauren. We believe in his great mastery over that experience of divine love that's never ending. So when you think of friends or people in your family, let's bathe them in that ripple of a love from your heart, whether it's pink, whether it's green, maybe for you it'll be yellow. It really doesn't matter because it's your life. You're the one with the hands of God that are beginning to mend it together. So it is going to be your faith and your belief in what you do, whether that brings itself forth or not. I think Jesus will tell you first of anybody, you must believe. And I always remember as a young child, perhaps you do, also watching Disney, and the first thing you see the little cricket do, believe. And little did how we all know at that time the mastery of Mr. Disney, knowing where it began to believe. Think of how many people in our world today still don't have faith or don't even know what it is. Don't want to take the time and energy to believe, for why not? Why would you? Well, this is exactly the reason it isn't working for you. You know, God works in mysterious ways. And as we become one who is in alignment with him and you understand, you just need to only ask God and become that person which moves through the world and brings it to fruition. So, as we see our abundant vision, I can also see gold bars, gold coins, silver coins, lots of options. I can see the word lottery. What is it that you want to focus your world on? And let's put it with that wave of light into that so it can begin to bring it to you. You must believe. Must believe. Yes, and it's a choice. And it's not that you're bad if you can't. But you're here to listen to so many people, not only me, about how to be. And the more light of God you hold, the more abundant you will become. And it may not always look like how you want it to be. Maybe it won't be in bars of gold, but maybe it'll be in people that love you, that want to share your love, that want to know what you're about. I walk in the grocery store and I see people huddled together looking at me. My eyes are pretty much all yellow, encasement in blue right now. So I look a little different out in the world with no glasses on. But it's okay. I understand. It's purposeful for them to maybe see something that they haven't and wonder. Because they will feel my heart. They actually back away sometimes. But I enjoy going out into the world because that's part of who I am and what I'm meant to do, is to anonymously touch people and then to wonder, well, what was it about that? What made that different? So Lauren's saying, abundance, grateful for all you have and being happy in what you have. Okay, well, thank you. You too. There is not one of us that, unless we don't choose to, that can have more than another. Because your path is about being free, giving, loving, sharing, being gentle and kind. And when you have the recipe of all those things that we put into this masterful ball of water, of consciousness, how can anger or war or any of those words, to me, they break away and dissipate as soon as I think them. Because I don't want them to manifest. I would like to enjoy freedom. A freedom that's pure. And I believe those of us who are older and in my age, we remember that. You went to school, you came home, had your family, Not so many things as today. Certainly my brothers did baseball and I did dancing, but it was different. The stress, the tense. So let's take that word stress. And I guess from programming of all the work I've done, I see it in like Z's. So let's just give a turn in our consciousness of the water and see if it can roll away the edges of those Z's and the trauma of that experience. And let it be ease. Perhaps that's a good word. What do we really desire in our world? And I would think it's ease, love, compassion, and understanding. So I want you to take for a moment and pick one of those words and see with what image, sound that you would put in this ocean of consciousness to have that develop itself. What would that look like? What would that sound like? Because that is the creator in alignment with God that you are. You have the ability to create whatever you want. It's time now to stop creating what you don't want. You've seen what we need to do. You just let it crumble. It's not who I am. I don't want that in my life anymore. I don't want fighting anymore. I want loving, compassion, understanding, friendship. You see how the energy of that water, that consciousness begins to become full and more of an essence of feeling of completion as you go on and do more and do more. It's going to be a hallelujah because you've gotten the message. It isn't about looking around your world and making it more of that. It's what you desire from the level of love in your heart. And what energy do you give that to allow it to manifest? Very powerful. Let's see if I sounds on. Okay, good. Does anyone here have a question for me? And all of you that are saying thank you, you're all very welcome. So let's see if someone is willing to put up an issue they have. And maybe it's an anger inside yourself. You know, sometimes that can be very challenging. What I would do first is take that anger, unwrap the black fabric from me, take it and dip it into the loving consciousness of God, and let it be free. Oh yes, your third eye. So we're going to start to pull. If anyone doesn't have the third eye they desire, just old rags, black rat ropes, any times that punishment was attached to seeing, maybe you saw something you shouldn't see. I said someone here was a clairvoyant and spoke something they shouldn't have. So let's also pull out from the throat. And we're forgiving ourselves. There was no need for that. There's no need to hold on to an old trauma to allow yourself to unleash and become who you are. So we're also going to go back to the back chakra of the third eye, where the eye of Horus is, and we're going to unwrap the black strings of attachment to that, to a lot of different parts of you. I'm going to answer your question in a moment, Lauren. So right now, Dr. Tim, we're going to ask that we're going to cut away and release any cording to any lifetime, anything to do with your death being taken. Is it that simple? Yes, it is that simple. And Lauren, you asked me, how do we call back our power? from negative experiences? Well, number one key right there is you have to begin to know you're not negative. And if you protect your chakras and clear out the negative attachments to that, then you're complete. So you're giving power away to them just by the way you've spoken. So my beingness becomes a holy experience. So it doesn't allow that to come. Plus your protection would not allow that to come. So a lot of lessons in here that need to be gone over and studied and understood, and observing on how you believe in yourself and what you believe. If you believe you attract them, then that's the only thing to say, is that there's negative inside of you and you need to find those thoughts and to release them. So Dr. TM, are you telling me you feel a difference around your head now? In fact, everyone, if you're doing it with us, should feel the same. You know, it may take a little time. There's somewhere on my work within the last couple months, visual things to work to open your third eye. So after today, you may be ready to look at that, Dr. TM. It's not feeling better yet. So then we need to say, why? What is unwilling in you? Why is it that it can't be that easy? You know, God's work is simple. It is easy. You need to allow it to be. What should you do for the third eye? Well, I think you were there when we looked at the photos and kept looking at it, and it started to open and you start to see colors. But certainly if there's attachments, cording done, you need to know that Archangel Michael's with every one of you on your right side. Task him and put your hand on his sword and it will touch it and release them. Everybody just go and release all their chakras now from any cording everywhere. And there's no that it doesn't work. Archangel Michael, unless you don't believe, does clear all the cording. Okay? Maybe a fear. Are you afraid of sight? So let's see where that fear lies for you. I feel it's in the word responsibility. So I'm going to imagine the word responsibility up on a big blackboard, and we're going to take a wet sponge, just like we did in school, and just annihilate it, wipe it away. Doesn't exist anymore. Very good. You can feel the energy of our group is getting stilled. That's a very powerful sign, because people are changing. But it's also higher. Let's just all help resonate with that. So those who need healing will be receptive of it and be open to it. So I'm going to unwrap the fear from around you like a mummy. Dr. TM and the fear, Lauren, about power. Let's unwrap it. Anyone else who has something similar, let's unwrap it. Keep unwrapping until you feel lighter. Just unwrap. Mm-hmm. It's working with the subconscious, and it's a very valid work. Myself and Rick Moss and Sterling created it in Atlantis, and it's actually how we found each other again. So it's very powerful. So how's everyone feeling? Is anybody there? Oh, feel vibration. Can you see any vibration whether your eyes are open or closed? Because it's real, it's moving. We want to understand that everything we think or say is neutral until we color it with a thought, a feeling, an experience. Transported into light. Does that mean you saw light? Excellent. See, it's all about healing. I know you all seem a little resistant to it, some of you, but healing is what's going to set you free. We have 144,000 parts of us that most are in separation. And as we begin to move back into relinquishing it, forgiving it, embracing it, loving it once again, we begin to become more of the light that God is. Let me see if I missed anything up here. So, Lauren, how are you feeling? Annick says, yes, she's feeling so well. It's like we came in and went whoosh. Maybe everyone's going to have, no, not maybe. Everyone will have a wonderful day. Well, probably all your chakras need alignment, Dr. TM, but not something I can do here today with everyone here, but maybe we'll see what we can do as we go along. Lauren feels numb, hurt, and sad. So, you see, we tapped onto another pattern. So I want you to begin to see a black cord coming out of your heart. That cord, you believe, is for love. Unfortunately, it's wrapped around people who leave you hurt, sad. But this is why I don't like to do it here on this, because you need to unwind that. You're about happiness. You're a very happy person and a very great goodness inside you. But however life has presented itself for you, you believe you need to tolerate all that to be okay. You're welcome, Dr. TM. Good, Annie. You'll be all ready for tomorrow. Let's just thank God for having it be that there's those that have felt such a difference today. But of course, it can be every day. You know, who else is on here? Marvy, how are you feeling? Carol, are you feeling better? Ah, see? Terrible fight last night. You know, you're going to reach a point, Lauren, where the fight isn't worth it. You know, what does fighting do but make you feel the way you felt? So, but that's not something I can do for you. That's something you must choose. For all of you who have your life. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying Dr. TM. And good welcome to you. So, Marby, are you here or did you leave? See, I can't ever tell that. So today, as we're sitting and looking at our field that we need to plant, put seeds in, manifest. Perhaps now, Dr. TM, I can see. I see all things, human and beyond, all beautiful things. You see, it's changing where you've been. Lauren, you can say, I forgive. I forgive myself and those around me who support me in being sad. I do not any longer choose to be sad or in pain. All right. Any questions from those of you who didn't say much? Yummy. Butterflies. Transformation. I get it. Marby says she's here. And did you experience a shift in light when we were working? Yeah. Sometimes we create difficult things, but I want to not speak that word for you. I want to say, in some beautiful way, you're creating love. Love for yourself. Love for the world you live in. And let it be so. Always more healing to do. So, the sooner that you all get that message, the happier your life will be. For it is the sad one that brings sadness to them. And maybe today will help you get it. It's just a simple thought. And yet it's powerful and magic. That was the whole idea Disney was trying to tell us all. Believe. Little wizard, Jiminy Cricket. Believe. You can create whatever you want to create because you have the gift of God inside of you, everyone. I see. Well, I hope you got something beautiful out of today. And I'm just going to want to say a prayer here, and then I'm going to let you all go. It is the blessing received each morning and through the night and when you go to sleep, of the presence of God within you. There will come a day where that, above all else, will be your truth. And as it was knowing that spark of the everlasting life and life that you became a part of each time you took a breath here upon earth was a choice to set yourself free, to be loving, to expand your heart beyond what you can even see, and to allow all of his beings who work with him and around him have the option to help you. Brothers and sisters, I am Jesus, and I'm here to say, Father will save you if you only ask. For Father remembers each of you and all who you've been, and the mistake has been done on the journey of your path. So for you, those of you who really allow God and his magical light of beautiful love to touch him today, thank you very much. Yep, Carol got in. She's feeling better. Good. I think we had a powerful day at the beginning about planting the seeds into the huge trough of consciousness. That's who you are, actually. Remember? You are the consciousness around you. What seeds do you want to put in it? And what has the time come to relief? Simple. Very simple. It wouldn't be God's if it wasn't simple. Many blessings, everyone. Have a great holiday. I don't want to keep you. Yeah, amen. And all the love and kisses from all the beings around all of us and here for you today. And Father loves you. Oh, you're welcome.